Hello, everybody. Welcome to our channel, Your Salesforce Buddy. My name is Pratik Mistry. I am the owner of Railbot Solutions, and I also make Salesforce tutorial videos on Your Salesforce Buddy channel. For more such videos, do subscribe to our channel. This is our video part of Field Service Lightning series. This is the part 3 of the video. Um, Today, we are going to talk about different profiles, users, and permission sets within Field Service Lightning. So if you haven't seen the part 1 and part 2, then I highly recommend looking at those because through this series, we are trying to incorporate anyone who would like to set up and run Field Service Lightning or manage package in their Salesforce environment. All right. So as I said, today we will be talking about profiles, different roles, users, and uh, permission sets in Field Service Lightning. So for all those who are listening and have been in the Salesforce environment, you mostly know what are profiles, roles, and users and how to set them up. But I'll still give out a quick explanation. So, what is a profile in Salesforce environment? Profile basically uh, gives you access to different record types, to different pages or applications. Profile basically determines your access level within the system. So it determines what you can see, not how you can see, but what you can see, and what level of different objects you can see in Salesforce. Now, roles are basically what's your role in the organization, and based on that role, what kind of what level of records within each object you can see. So, role specifies your specific level of access within each object. Profiles tell you which object you have access to, and roles will tell you whether you have access to the records that you own within that object or you have access to records you and your team owns. So let's say are if you have role hierarchy visibility, then you will be able to see your and your teams. And then through role we can expand access through manual sharing, through sharing rules. um, and then what are permission sets? So permission sets are uh, ways to expand your access that without creating more profiles. So it gives you particular access to each different user instead of giving access to the entire profile. All right. So for field service lightning, we do have to create a lot of different permission sets and then provide those access permission set level access to the users and also access to the licenses. All right. So quickly, I will go into the setup menu. The first thing you want to look for is profile. So in our part 1 video, we did speak about major players in field service lightning. The major players are the admin, field service level admin, the field service agent, field service dispatcher, and field service resources. So those are our 4 players, and we will be creating profile for all those 4 players. So I have already created them, but I will show you how to create a profile. So you would click on new, uh, and then after new, you want to basically when you click on new, you can clone from an existing profile. So you want to do standard user, and then uh, once you select standard user, you can provide a profile name, and then it will reflect on in your system. So as you can see, I have already created the field service level agent, dispatcher, and technician. I already have a system admin, so I don't need to create those. But within an agent, um, with each profile, you can manage their sharing settings. So we can determine the object level settings, and then we can also determine any custom permissions or the system permissions that need to be associated with that profile. And same thing you would do for dispatcher and technician. Now, for users, we would have created 6 users, um, one being myself, uh, who's the system admin. I have an FSL agent, so Emily Harper is the FSL agent. I have a dispatcher, uh, Michael Turner is the dispatcher, and then I have 3 technicians, Carlos Rivera, Sophia Mitchell, and John Davis. Again, these are mock uh, users that I've created for the demo purpose. Talking about roles, so if you go to roles, I have created a hierarchy within my organization. So within CEO, the FSL agent reports to CEO, and then FSL dispatcher also reports to CEO, and to the dispatcher, the technician reports to the dispatcher. Now, when you create the users, you want to make sure you create the roles prior to that, so you're able to select the roles in those users. Of course, we are not working with any sharing settings right now, but if we need to, we can use these roles and profiles to our advantage. All right, so now let's look at the permission sets. If you look at the permission sets and hover over to F, so that gives you field service. By default, you will not have any permission sets in the system, but the way to enable these, I can show you how to enable these permission sets. By default, you might just see the field service mobile standard permission set because that's what comes by default. Now, to enable the remaining permission sets, what you want to do is you want to go to the field service admin settings. So let's launch the field service admin app launcher. If you go to field service settings, go to permission sets, and over here you would see the create permission button, and then click on the ones that you want to activate. So in this case, since we are using 4 profiles, one is the admin. So you want to click on the create permissions for field service admin, click on create permissions for field service agent, same thing for resource and for dispatcher. Once you activate these, then do refresh your page once, and then you'll be able to see all the permission sets available under permission sets for field service. All right. So now the last task that remains is assigning these licenses and permissions to your users. So there are 2 ways to do that. One is you can go to each user profile. So let's say I go to the system admin, and then you can hover over to the permission set assignments. And you can see I've already added the assignments for admin license and the permissions. You want to click on edit. Uh, if you need to add any, let's say I want to add the mobile license to this admin, then I will go ahead and just drag this one in the enabled box. Same thing if I want to add a dispatcher license, I can add that too, and then permissions as well. And same thing with the agent license and permissions. Now, It is a tedious task to go to each user and add these permission sets. Of course, I just have few of them, but let's say your org has 30 users and you want to add all 30 to same permission sets. Then the best way to do is go to permission sets. You can search in the quick find box permission sets. Go to the permission sets of field service, let's say mob resource. So we are assigning these to technician. So there are two, you need to assign a license and a permission to each user. So for resource or technicians, you want to assign them the field service resource license and the field service mobile permission. So when you click on the permission set, go to manage assignments, and then you can add the user over here directly. Same thing if you go to field service mobile license, since I added the system admin myself to that, so you'll see the user added as well. But if you want to add more users, you can click on add users, and then you'll be able to add any user by just checking their box and clicking next. All right. So once all these users are added and assigned the permission sets and licenses, then the users are basically now available to set up in the field service setup guide. All right. So that is the end of this video. Thank you. Please look out for the part 4. Do subscribe to our channel, Your Salesforce Buddy, and do like our video and share. Thank you.